scrutiny is to check those voting papers, please. The independent scrutiny. Someone from the gallery, perhaps?
Any volunteers?
Oh, you put your hand up. Go for it.
People sitting around here, it's totally out of touch with reality. Well, do you think it was my fault that a few of them left?
Okay, I think we'll come back to order.
We've had about 5 actually, including temporary.
Thank you. Call our CEO to answer the question. I think she's got some input.
Right, thanks, Your Worship. Just a correction in relation to that motion 5. It should refer to clause 139. If you actually look at your document, there's a duplication of numbers in there, so we'll have to correct the numbering in that document. So I should read it required per clause 139. The second question was about the Secretary of the Panel. I think that's covered in clause 142 on page 218, which nominates the Director of Corporate and Community Services or the delegate, and it would have to be a person who is not a candidate for the position. The alternative is Council nominate who they wish to be the Secretary, and we'll have to go and confirm whether that individual is likely to be a candidate or not.
Thank you. That answers your question, Councillor Mosman.
Well, no, it doesn't, sir, because I don't know the name of the person who's going to be doing this. Without saying too much, there's another issue happening at the moment, so I won't say more.
Your Worship, would it be appropriate to ask whether or not Karina would be an appropriate person to be Secretary of the Panel? She's not related to, she's not likely to put in a position or put in an application, although she may like to. Given that she's only recently taken on her job, I don't see you wanting to leave it because I know you love it so much. And that she would be well qualified, I think, to take on that secretarial role, and is quite independent from senior staff at the on the council. So if through you, Your Worship, Graeme thought it was appropriate, if she had time and she's able to do it, whether or not that would be an appropriate person to offer secretarial services.
Well, I don't know whether Karina's going to be a candidate or not. She hasn't told me. Yeah, look, it would be advantageous if you had someone who perhaps could provide you HR advice. Probably not essential if you're engaging a HR consultancy firm as part of the process. But I'd have to discuss that with Karina because I know she's got a fairly heavy workload. But, there's probably a couple. I could talk to the Governance Officer, Deb Blagrove.
Can the CEO, it's just a point of clarification, can you tell me the role of the Secretary for this position? Thank you.
Can you excuse me, I'm blinded by Mr. Batchford's phone or whatever it is at the moment. Sorry, who was speaking to me? Councillor Schofield. Sorry, what was the question?
Just wondered if you could clarify what the job description for the Secretary of the panel is. Thank you.
Is that documented in the policy?
Secretarial Support Services for the panel.
Yeah, through the chair, there's
just I guess off the top of my head, because there's obviously a fair bit of information in these 3 documents, but it's things like just trying to step it through in a logical sequence, setting up the meeting appointments, preparing, probably drafting procurement tender documentation, which the panel would then, determine the content. Once the panel's agreed on the content, getting that out on vendor panel and the advertising that goes with that, collating what comes in at the cut-off, preparing the files and getting them out to the panel members so they can read them before they convene and do their individual assessment before they convene. Taking notes of each of the panel meetings. I think the procedures you've adopted require those to be circulated to all elected members at each step of the way. So making sure that happens. And then when there's points at which matters need to come back to full council for decision, putting up the panel's report, which the panel would determine the content, but the secretary would collate that for you and put that into the actual Synergy Soft agenda module. So for all those reasons, it needs to be a public officer. There's, I guess, a range of choices. So that hopefully that helps. Thank you.
Yes, Councillor Maxwell.
Yeah, look, I would be quite pleased if Karina would like to do that, because she's obviously got the secretarial skills and she knows local government. We know that when Karina's on leave, Ben and Lisa assist and take over her normal duties, so I think that she'd be ideal. My personal view is that all HR advice should be provided by the consultant and not by internal sources, and that way the public can have far more confidence in a totally independent process. So I would, if Karina's happy, I would move that Karina be appointed as the secretary.
I think I would need to discuss that with Karina to see whether she was happy to do that within her current workload. I'm sure she will make her best endeavours to cooperate, but if Karina can't do it, I'll nominate somebody else.
Well, can I change that motion to that Karina be requested to fulfil the role if she wants to do it, or whatever the fancy wording might be? Should she accept the role, she should be secretary to the CEO review panel. I'm getting tired.
I really believe we should move on, and I think, we have got this all set out, and whoever will get the job will do a good job. We were sure we will get somebody, and we can let Councillor Marshall know who is the one that the CEO or whoever the panel chooses when the time comes. We're just wasting so much time here tonight.
I obviously know a lot more things than you do, Councillor.
Probably do. I'm not saying you don't.
I've got all sorts of information that you
Thank
do,
you.
so.
Thank you. Let's bring it back. Be guided by the mover and seconder have their motion. They want to leave it as is, and we can put the motion, move forward.
As the leave as is and put the motion, move forward.
Thank you. I'll take that as a direction from the elected members. All those in favour?
What are we voting on, Sarah?
Number 5.
Okay.
The motion, the council authorises the CEO recruitment panel to direct the panel secretary to engage solicitors to provide advice to the panel on matters pertaining to the CEO recruitment and selection process, if required, per clause 139, and the CEO recruitment procedures to a maximum of $7,500 expenditure. Okay, I'll put that to the vote. All those in favour? And those against? That's carried. Thank you.
How's we have a division on that one too, please?
Thank you. All those in favour, please stand. For Councillor Gosbrook, Councillor Cofield, Councillor Chick-Whitman, Councillor Jenkins, Councillor Dutton, and Councillor Hales. Against, Councillor Charles and Councillor Marshall.